level up,
level
level
up,
up,
level up, level up, level up. Today we're leveling up our, our minds for fraud and scams. We've been talking about that.
We have to be wise. You have to be, if you know, how did they say? If you know, feel live for Lagos, I mean, you know, feel wise anywhere. If you know, feel wise for Lagos, you know, feel wise anywhere. Hi guys, welcome to another exciting episode of Millennial Talk. In the past few weeks, we've been discussing scams, digital scams, small business scams. We've also discussed job scams. But this week, we're doing something that I believe everybody has experienced one way or the other. Somebody must have called you and told you, send your account number to me, or I'm in pain, send me money and all of those things. But before we move on, hi Josephine. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm bubbly today.
Yeah, today I feel like there's a rush of adrenaline today. Seriously. Maybe because we're rounding up this scam. We've been talking all scams for the whole of this month. So today is the last series on that.
It's been beautiful.
Yeah, it's been great.
Knowledge, and I really hope our viewers have been learning a lot from that. Yeah.
And if you have not actually been, if you've not followed up on all the other scam series, you can go back, and I think we talked about job scams, we talked about Ponzi schemes, and we also talked about
small business
scams. Yeah, so definitely this is also going to be another exciting conversation.
Yeah, 7 years ago, the cashless policy was put in place in Nigeria. That's to curb cash transaction, crimes related to cash transactions, and also drive financial inclusion. But there's a downside to it: the rising rate of internet fraud. Not just internet fraud, relating to banking transactions, the high rate of fraud relating to ATMs, digital transactions, your online banking, and all of those things. So we are seeing that many people keep falling victim to these things. I think somebody on Twitter recently raised an alarm about how somebody cleared his mom's account and just totally cleared it. We're seeing that these guys are actually getting smarter. As technology is evolving, they are actually getting smarter.
Yeah, that's really, really true. And it's very interesting to know that in 2018, about 15.5 billion was lost to bank fraud. And this just as you said, every year there's a new technology, but there's also a smarter fraudster, and this is the reason why today we want to share more insights on bank frauds and all of that. There's one thing you should know, that your bank would never ask you to send sensitive information such as your BVN, your card PIN, or your ATM card number, your PIN, those sensitive information, your email address, your password, your login details to your mobile banking app. Your bank will never call you to ask all of those things. And these are one of the things, that help us to recognize that this is definitely a fishy call, this is a fraudulent activity. Just spot the signs, and that's the most important part of it.
Yeah, even in fact recently I heard that you have to even protect your NIN number. Now now that your NIN is linked to your SIM, and your SIM is linked to your bank
phone
account.
number. So
it's either they get your BVN is even too far. Just your NIN, your slip, your NIN slip just hanging around anywhere is dangerous. So somebody having your NIN number puts you in a very risky position. But how are these scams actually perpetrated? We have insider scams. We've heard series of how bankers, even in the bank, people working in the bank, steal customer information, then use it to perpetrate fraud. For example, somebody in the bank can, there's always a rogue agent everywhere. There's always somebody,
there's always a bad egg.
There's always a bad egg. So there's always somebody that would, allow the devil use them. So, but don't let the devil use them on your own account.
On your case.
On your case. So really, somebody from inside, an insider can call you because they have access to your information, to your data, and tell you, can you something is wrong with your bank account and all of those. So the right thing for you to do, in as much as the person, no matter how legit looks, always double check, call the bank to find out. That's why we, even in your bank email statements, shiny emails, there are numbers you can call. So I believe that if the bank is carrying out routine checks and all that, everybody should be aware. So you should always call to confirm. I believe somebody would answer you. There's Twitter, there's Instagram. In fact, they're very fast with Twitter.
These days. I think social media has made it easier.
Exactly. So they'll respond to you. So, and I think insider information, or insider people inside
A
the
mole.
bank can
I think we
also-
call them a
yes,
mole.
a mole. You
Yeah.
can also, so you have to always double check what whoever is calling you and whatever
you,
information that you get.
Yeah, that's true. And another type of fraud that people might encounter would be the outsider infiltration. So these guys are the smart techie guys. So they are usually more smarter than the person who's working in the bank, because they are mostly like hackers. Now, due to the high risk with internet banking and all this digital technology platforms where you can now bank, you have the USSD, you have your mobile banking, you also have the internet banking, you know. So these guys are so badass. I think that's the word. Forgive my word, but that they are so good that they can clone websites.
Yes, they've cloned bank
Yeah, they
websites,
can
yes.
even clone bank apps on Play Store.
Yes.
So you are downloading an app and you don't
think-
double check, but you think you are downloading the original app. As soon as you enter all your information, all your money is gone. So these guys are so good, and they find a way to hack the system, the internal systems of the bank, get your information one way or the other. And once they get your person, just like you said, your NIN, any form of information, even if it's your phone number linked to your bank account, once they get this very sensitive information, they are able to hack and get access, you know.
to your
And then
data.
you see, there's a very funny way these guys operate. You see that they will send you an SMS, and it's not always advisable to click every link you get with an SMS. Some of these links are fraudulent, and once you click them, it gives them an opportunity to be able to hack your phone
you know,
and take all the data.
Yes,
all the data. Once you click that link, it's over.
the data is gone.
It's
yes,
over.
exactly.
So that's one of the ways that this outside, like, remember we said they're very smart, so you have to be careful with links and any sensitive information. Protect your information, just like you said. Why would your data or your NIN slip just be lying around? It should be protected. It should be kept in a safe, secure place. If you have a safe in your house, or you have a box that has a lock and a key, all these sensitive data should be kept there. And even if you want to
use your NIN slip outside, whatever, always ensure that whoever you're giving it to is, you know, protected.
Yeah, your trusted person.
Yeah, exactly. So the next type of, you know, the next way that a scam can be done is collaborative scams. Yeah. So an insider and an external person. Yeah. So an insider in the financial institution can collaborate with an outsider. Definitely. Just like what we've said, you know, earlier. So imagine two minds coming together on your case
are better than one.
On your case, you know, just to steal money. So somebody. Yeah. And, you know, it's easier for the person outside to carry out the crime when there's an insider. So this person, the insider gets out the data. Maybe they are not as techy as the person outside and hands it over to the person outside. Yeah. And, you know, it's easy to perpetrate.
Very easy.
The crime. So they now, you know, they now pass on the information to the person outside, and they have access, just like, you know, we've gone in depth in that area. So how can you avoid, you know, how?
Yeah.
There are ways to, you know,
yeah, I think it's good that people are able to identify. So one of the ways I think that they would, you know, one of their tricks is by urgent phone calls. Have you ever received an urgent phone call where somebody's like, hey, and the funny thing is that the person might use the name of the person you know, because they've gotten your data, so they probably have people linked to your sister, your brother. They might use the name of a cousin, of distant relative, and they call and, like, you know, urgently asking, please, my account is frozen. Can you quickly just send me 100,000 naira? This is
the boss. I mean, had an accident.
Exactly. So when you hear that someone close to you is having a problem, you might not hesitate. You might not think twice. You might just like, oh, quickly, let me help this person out. Without cross-checking the phone number, if it was even correct, or the name. Something might be fishy, but because of the haste, you are put under a lot of pressure, and you go ahead and, you know, quickly just send the money without thinking twice. So I think when you get a phone call like that, it's always good to double-check. Call the person. If the person called with a strange number, call the original number of that person that you have saved on your phone. Like, hi, what's up? You just called me. To shock you to hear, I didn't call you. I did not call you.
Exactly. So really, you have to be careful.
Yeah.
Another way is when the same phone call, somebody calls you and gives you a sad story about how they cannot make transactions on their banking system. On their internet, they'll tell you my USSD is not working. Yeah. If in Nigeria, we have like 3 different ways you can actually, there's POS. We forgot to add POS. There's POS. There's ATM, there's mobile, the USSD, then there's the internet banking. So when somebody calls you and says, oh, please, can you help me send money to this person? Yeah. A lot of people are are falling victims. A lot of people are even in prison. They have court cases just because they helped somebody transfer money. So when you help somebody transfer money and they start to chase this person, they start to trace, okay, how did the transaction happen? How the transaction happen? How did this money leave this person's bank? And they trace it back to you, and you're arrested, and you start to tell them, oh, you don't know about it. Nobody. This is Nigeria. In fact, nobody will let you go. So be careful when. I think you should only do that for people that you trust, people that are actually No, somebody cannot just come to you on the street and tell you, oh, can you please transfer this money to this person? Not even to them.
Not to them.
You have to be careful.
So you can't even trace it back to them.
ID. Even if you want to help, people can be really stranded. But even if you want to help, ask for an ID. Ensure that the name matches whoever you're helping or you're sending the money to.
Yeah, that's true. I've seen it. I've also heard that this is actually a crime. And it's like you're aiding and abetting crime.
Yeah, exactly.
You might not know, and the truth is that in the eyes of the law, ignorance is not an excuse. So you have to be sure that whoever you are doing such a transaction with is a trusted person, probably even more safe your family or your very close family friends. And that's the truth. And one of the other tricks that these tricksters, I'll call them tricksters, use is that they they announce that you've won something exciting like
just to entice
rewards.
Exactly.
So imagine you get a call that you've just been qualified for I don't want to call names now. You've been qualified for a bank draw, and all you need to do is pay 50,000 naira into this account or 20,000 naira. These guys are so low these days. They go how low? It doesn't matter how low it can be, and they'll tell you once you pay the money, it qualifies you for the draw and all of that. Only for you to do it, then you don't hear from them. Then you go to your bank and you call your bank, or you walk into your bank and say, I paid this money, and they say, I'll qualify for a draw. And the bank will say, we're not doing any draw. First of all, your bank has a legit website. You can go there. If there's a draw in any bank, you also always find it in the landing page of these banks. You find it there. It's bold that we're running a promo, we're running a reward.
They won't run ads.
Exactly. There'll be ads on social media. So there's so many channels. So sometimes I wonder, why do people actually still fall for these things?
It's not
desperation, emotions,
greed, fear, and
a lot of
make money.
Exactly. So I think that it's important for you to always double check.
Yes.
As in, I don't think we can emphasize that enough. I understand that there are times when it's desperate times, and luckily, because I remember there was a particular bank, I'm not going to mention names, that was doing a promo one time. They called my friend and said, you had won a phone. She didn't believe it. Until she walked to the bank and they were like, oh, it's for real. It's for real. Exactly. You understand? But I like the fact that she had to confirm. It doesn't matter. It might be, okay, for instance, she actually went for this thing now, and it was some bunch of hoodlums that ripped her off, or maybe she got robbed just to go and pick up the gift item or the phone. But I like the fact that the bank actually made people come to the bank branch to pick up the gifts.
Exactly. So, we've discussed extensively as to, how you can avoid, being a victim of bank fraud and, other fraudulent activities, people calling you and all. But how do you actually identify? How do you actually avoid these things? So how do you ensure that you're not a victim of these things? First of all, never give your personal information online. Even if you're filling out a form, be careful. Be careful. In fact, there are a lot of apps now that is trading apps, blah, blah, blah apps. You have to be careful. Some people, please, fraudsters are very smart. They are techie. Like, they're not, when people see fraudsters, people always think, oh, they're just low lives. They don't know what they're doing.
Some of them are
smart. But these people are very smart people. They are trying to game the system. So just like you mentioned, somebody will create an app and tell you, oh, we are using it for trade. Put your BVN, put your NIN. And, your information is going into their system. So they can access your information and do bad with it. So you have to be careful. When you're filling out forms online, you're buying something online, because it also happens with e-commerce. You're buying something online. You have to ensure that there's a padlock. There's, you see this website have secured by something. You have to ensure that the website is secured. Don't fill out documents, leave them openly, and just, put your, especially NIN. People don't actually know about the NIN. People think it's just BVN. BVN doesn't even work without your account number. But NIN can work just with your, because it's connected to your SIM, and your SIM is connected to your account number. So you have to be careful. Never give your information out anyhow. And even if someone asks for your information, ensure that it is for a good reason. Even when you're filling out bank forms, take it to the bank. don't open it. You don't even need to take it home. Fill it in the bank and hand it over to the cashier or to the customer service operator.
Yeah, and another way to be able to avoid these scams is also by not responding. Like, don't respond. For instance, there was a time it was really trendy. You have someone call you and they'll be like, "Hi, so your bank has an error. We're trying to fix a problem with your bank. Please, can you give us the last 5 digits of your ATM card, or can you call out your ATM number?" And you see people fell victims for it, especially people that are not tech wise.
And older people,
the older
generation also would need this information.
They need a bit of sensitization when it comes to these things, because they are very, very oblivious of that this whole crime thing. And once they see someone say, "Oh, I'm from your bank," they are, "Oh, please, if there's a problem, quickly fix it."
People are very vulnerable.
Exactly. So when you hear you get phone calls like that, just be wary. Don't respond. As long as you're not sure where this call, email, text message, whatever the case may be, link, wherever it's coming from, don't respond. Don't respond to the message. Don't respond to the call. As soon as you hear, can you just hang up the phone call and call your bank straight up. Did you guys call me just now? They say no. You've saved yourself the stress.
Because these people think banks don't respond. They do respond. People just think, oh, banks are just there. They are giants, or they are people you cannot have access to. They would respond because you're keeping your money with them. So they have the responsibility to you to actually, respond to whatever concerns you have. Ensure you research and validate. We've talked about that extensively. Research and validate wherever your data is going. Whenever somebody calls you, ensure that you confirm. Don't be too afraid. Don't be too moved. Don't get too emotional about it. And seek advice. When when you're in doubt, seek advice. If it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
I think that's one phrase that we've used
across all our videos.
This last C4 series of scam, because the truth.
Scammers, scam people, they give you something, that looks too good,
exciting,
to spoil you to take action. So I believe we've learned something from this episode of Scam. Sadly, or is it sadly or beautifully or joyfully? We have to round up this series. So for more information about finance and how to improve yourself financially, or just to learn more about finance, you can visit our website on www.proshareng.com. Keep watching. Thank you for watching. Bye.